Why don't we start the podcast with the Indian opener, KL Rahul? He looked set in the first innings, tending to make a good score, but then we got the controversial wicket. So, firstly, I would love to hear your opinion on that wicket.
Yes, it is a bit of a controversy, certainly. There was a significant gap between bat and ball. And even Hubli Police had a very funny post, right, in Twitter that if you can't see the gap, don't drive today. But these things tend to happen. And I think technical glitches are there, but DRS has really come up very well. Having said that, I think the good thing is Rahul has really done well, especially after what he has gone through in the last 1 year. And the fact that he had a good time in the middle in the first innings, which was very crucial, right? So I think that's a positive takeaway for us.
And a follow up question about KL Rahul. He has played in multiple positions till now, and he opened in this test. He looks set in the second innings, playing like a Pujara like innings. With Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill's potential return in the Adelaide test, where would you play KL Rahul? And will you have Shubman Gill in the 11 for the second test?
Think I saw news pop up today that Gill is a doubtful starter for Adelaide also. And most probably Rohit is going to replace Padikkal. In which scenario, I think it will be a minor shift where Rohit will go to opening position and Rahul to come at number three. And to your point, maybe a replacement for Pujara, right? So the way in which he batted actually it reminded of Pujara. And put him back in number three, right? It will again be good for us. It will also give a bit of freedom to both Rohit and Jaiswal, who both are free stroke makers, to know that there is a backup with Rahul at number three. Possibly, I think that is the only change that I foresee coming. But if Gill were to come, then there will be a significant shift. Then Gill will slot back to number three, which is how the management has been planning for many series now. And in which scenario Rahul will have to possibly go down to six, right? Which will be sad, but at the same time, there are also positives out of it because he will have really positive guys ahead and behind him. Like Rishabh Pant will be ahead of him, and then you have Reddy and Rana following him, right? And Sundar. So I think he will lend solidity even in the lower middle order. And the good part is the selfless character of Rahul to really move around wherever the team wants. I think those are the characters that you'd want in the team.
And I remember those dreams in which I envisioned batsmen beginning their innings when I left to school and batting all day long until when I come back from school. And I lived it now during my college life. And I think KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal batted beautifully, with special focus on Yashasvi Jaiswal's 161. Any comments on their partnership?
Yeah, the partnership was really good. Good to watch. After a long time, I enjoyed such a really good partnership, which took almost 1.5 days to end. And the way Rahul shaped Jaiswal's innings as well. So it was not just about Rahul solely or Jaiswal solely. Both of them really complemented well, actually, in the middle of the pitch, playing against those fiery fast bowlers of Australia and also the wily spin of Lion. So it was very good to watch the youthfulness of Jaiswal and the senior expertise of KL Rahul, the way Rahul was calming him down. So Yashasvi Jaiswal told in an interview that whenever I was nervous, I looked up to Rahul, and Rahul Bhai told me to remain calm and play what I know. So that's what brings this partnership as one of the best partnerships. Since 1991, this is the highest opening stand for India in Australian conditions. Talking individually about Jaiswal, I think the way he came back after the poor dismissal in the first innings, he couldn't score a run. And coming back and scoring 161 is not mean feat. So the mental strength that he had to make that comeback, he even ridiculed Stark that his bowling was very slow, which made me
Mm-hmm.
laugh. And yeah, that's how youngsters these days get confidence from. So uh, Jaiswal has a great career to come, and he'll go places definitely. So this 161 will clearly outline what he is going to do in his career in the future.
In the last podcast, I had hinted about Virat Kohli's bad form, and I had questioned about his future in the Test side. I think he has given a response to it with his 81st international century coming at Perth. Is it his pure skill and pure return of his form, or do you see it as an opportunity exploited out of the flattened wicket at Perth?
Yeah, just like I told in the last podcast, you cannot discount Virat Kohli's experience. Wherever you go, he's going to be there as an experienced senior pro to help the team. So his
Mm.
81st international century is a clear response to concerns about his form, and it's also going to be a huge moral booster for the Indian team as well as the youngsters in the team. It's going to be an inspiration for them to make their chances count. Yeah, you may argue that the flattened wicket in the second day might have helped him to regain his form, but you cannot discount his dedication and hard work which he has shown to master the skill. So
Mm.
all eyes will be on him, but more the chances for India to win this BGT will depend on Virat Kohli's form. Also coming into Adelaide, it's a pink ball test. It will be tricky, and Virat Kohli's experience in Adelaide will be very useful.
Let's come to India's bowler captain, Jasprit Bumrah. Though it is more or less obvious that Rohit will be taking his captaincy armband back from Jasprit Bumrah, do you want Bumrah to continue captaining ahead for the rest of the series?
I think it's a very tough question to answer. I think it is better to relieve him of the burden of captaincy, is what I feel. Certainly, yes, he has done a great job in terms of captaining the country. But having said that, I think he should be groomed for future captaincy rather than just being thrust into captaincy. And Rohit, I feel, as a senior statesman, can be a better fit as a captain. One of the things which happens when you are a bowler and a captain is that you tend to over bowl yourself, and that might not be good.
Mm.
And if Bumrah breaks down, then that will be a problem for India. I think that's one thing, but certainly a very good auguring for India that Bumrah has shown the capability of leading men, right? Not only tactically, but also in terms of being a motivational leader. So I think that is a real good positive takeaway.
Let's talk about Nitish Kumar Reddy. He played really well in both the innings with the bat. Has he cemented his place for the Adelaide Test now? This being asked from the perspective of the number of spinners India will want to play in the Adelaide Test. Only Washington Sundar has come into the picture so far, with big names like Ashwin and Jadeja being benched. What are your views on the situation?
I think if I read Gautam Gambhir's mind, I think it's he's using the KKR template also, where he has backed a lot of all-rounders, right? Certainly, he does not feel Ashwin in the all-rounder category. He sees him more as bowler. And
Mm.
Jadeja may be all-rounder. Certainly, is a good all-rounder. And then it will be a toss-up between Sundar and Jadeja. If I get the pulse of what is the current thought process of the team, I would see that Rana and Reddy will possibly be playing all the test matches, especially their
Mm.
style will suit the Australian pitches.
Mm.
Sydney might be different. Sydney tends to assist spinners a bit more. Adelaide also does, but Adelaide is a pink ball test, so there is no point in picking two spinners.
Mm.
Much rather, I would go with the current combination and maybe change in personnel if the team feels that it is better to have Jadeja. But the fact that they have so many left-handers, I think it is more imperative to have an off spinner and Sundar than Jadeja. So
Mm.
my gut feel is that they will go with the same unchanged playing 11 except for Rohit Sharma or Gill if he gets ready. Apart from that, I
Mm.
think it will be an unchanged 11.
Okay, let's come to Australia now. Their batting has been in shambles. I'm going to be brutally honest. It's in a very bad shape. Do you think they are over dependent on Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne? And how are Australians going to tackle this Bumrah-led bowling attack of India?
Yeah, I definitely have to talk about the Aussies. Yeah, the batting lineup has been struggling of late, and it is visible that they're relying heavily on Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne, especially with the retirement of David Warner. Big chunk of runs have dried up from the top order, and also with Cameron Green's injury, it's not helping them either.
Hmm.
So one silver lining in their Perth Test was Travis Head's 89 in the second innings. So
Hmm.
that should be good news for the Aussies going into the Adelaide Test, especially considering Adelaide is Travis Head's home ground. So he might definitely play his counter-attacking strokes over there and put Indians under pressure. But still, the other batsmen will have to step up, and especially the openers, Nathan McSweeney, have to come on his own, and Kavaja has to show his experience. And talking about how they would face Bumrah's bowling, yeah, it'll be a significant challenge. Bumrah was breathing fire in Perth, picking up 5 wickets, and Also, getting the big wickets of Steven Smith, it was daunting for them to face Bumrah. It was like they were standing on raging fire. So it will be very crucial for experienced batters like Smith, Labuschagne, and Head to come back to form and complement their other batters and also encourage the other batters to play well.
One more point that I want to add here is there seems to be some rift between Australian bowlers and batters. The comment of Hazelwood in terms of what is their plan as a batting unit. He answered that you have to ask that question to a batter and not me. I'm more focused on getting the opposition batsman out, right? It
Mm.
shows that the Australian bowlers are not happy with the effort of their batsmen. That lack of cohesion within a team can be exploited by India. And maybe I think I saw news today that they are considering a replacement for Marsh if he's unwell. There is another all-rounder, and he is possibly going to come in. But I think the answer is at the top of the order.
And coming to India's problems and way ahead to the Adelaide Test, I think one lesson which India has to learn is that lower order batsmen like Mitchell Stark are coming and playing for so long. And this isn't new to India, I know that. But what is a possible cause for such long partnerships, and what is the way ahead for India from this?
I think it's a universal problem, not just India. Many countries face this problem. I think what they tend to do is that they alter the length for the lower order batsmen. As long as the top order batsmen are there in the crease, they tend to maintain the proper top of the off stump length. And the moment they see somebody with a lesser skill, they try to overpitch and draw the edge, and that gives them driving length balls, and they keep driving. Or they bowl too short, and if it is too short, people typically duck out or possibly defend it, right? And they know
Mm.
clearly that there's a short ball coming. And the second thing is they spread out the field, right? I think that is also another major hassle as far as I feel. It's an obstacle in taking wickets. And they tend to not attack the settled batsman on the other side and tend to go behind the
Mm.
so-called bowlers. So they have to keep that in mind and make sure that they treat them as a proper batsman, make sure that they have plans for them and attack their weakness, which possibly they're not doing at this point of time.
Okay, and I have the final question for the day. Day-night test ahead of us. Do you think India is prepared for the twilight conditions ahead?
Yeah, India's preparedness for the twilight conditions in a day-night test is always a topic of interest because India do not play much day-night tests.
Correct.
So India's preparation has to be top-notch, and especially the adaptability to the twilight conditions is going to be really crucial because the pink ball tends to swing more in the twilight condition, especially in the third session, the night session, where
Mm.
the batting average is just around 26, and also the bowling will have a really good time in Adelaide because with the ball which is swinging so much,
Mm.
guys like Bumrah and Siraj can have a great purchase on that wicket, and especially again I'm stressing about the twilight period, the third session time. So it's going to be very crucial for the Indian bowling attack also to exploit that. While the batting might struggle, they
Mm.
have to adapt. The senior pros have to show that inspiration, and they need to show the path to youngsters like Jaiswal. Again, it's
Mm.
going to be really crucial, and spinners might have a challenge. Even though if Ashwin comes into the next test, he might face a challenge because of the extra lacquer on the pink ball.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
while India's experience is limited, the team is definitely challenging the Aussies. So, this is the right time we can right the wrongs and come out in flying colors in the pink test. The pink test is not so easy for anyone because Australia has not lost a single day
Mm.
night game. For it has to come into the mind of the Indian players and they have to act accordingly.
I think from my perspective, at least from batting perspective, what they should do is that make sure that they don't lose wicket before the twilight. Okay, whichever batting partnership is there, they'll have to make sure that those guys stay on for as long as possible, or at least till that dinner break. Make
Mm.
sure that the new batsman does not come in. The new batsman will find it very tough to negotiate the moving ball in that twilight conditions, right? So
Correct.
these small aspects, when they pay attention to that and make sure that these are taken care, I think India should possibly be able to do well. Hopefully, they will be able to set the record straight in Adelaide this time. Hopefully.
With this, I think we can conclude the podcast. It's been great interacting with you both and great answers which came our way. Let's see you in the next podcast after the second test. Thank you.